If your goal is to stuff your face, blow up like a water balloon, and call it bulking, go ahead and click away. But if you want to build real size, the kind that actually looks good shirtless, that turns heads at the gym and still keeps your waist tight, then pay attention. Because here's the harsh truth. Most people are already bulking, and badly. They eat more than they burn, barely track anything, and slowly pack on fat while convincing themselves they're just maintaining. Their waistlines are growing, their faces are getting softer, and their strength isn't climbing. Sound familiar? If you're sitting at 18 to 20% body fat or higher, you're not maintaining. You're already in a surplus. You're just doing it without intention, without structure, and without results. Eat more when your body's ready, you grow. Eat more when it's not, you just get fat. It's not about cranking calories, it's about timing, about knowing whether your body is primed to grow or whether you're about to bury your gains under a layer of useless fluff. So if you're serious about building an aesthetic physique, muscle that actually shows, you need to know exactly when to bulk and when you need to back off. Let's clear something up. Bulking doesn't mean eating everything in sight and hoping it turns into muscle. That's just being lazy with a fancy label. Bulking is a controlled calorie surplus. You're eating more than you burn, yes, but it's strategic. The goal is to give your body just enough fuel to build new muscle tissue without spilling over into fat storage. That's the fine line most people can't walk. If you're gaining more than a pound or so per week, you're not bulking smart. You're just getting sloppy. Real bulking is slow, calculated, and requires discipline, not excuses. You're tracking your intake. You're watching the scale. You're monitoring how your body looks, not just how much it weighs. And you're training hard enough to earn those extra calories. Because without the stimulus, all that extra food just gets stored, not built. Think of it this way. Bulking isn't about gaining weight, it's about gaining muscle. And that only happens when everything is dialed in. Your training, your recovery, your digestion, your sleep. If any of those are off, bulking turns into fat gain. So now let's get to it. Who should actually bulk? If you're sitting at a lean body fat, around 10 to 13% for men or 18 to 23% for women, you're in the sweet spot. Your hormones are working in your favor. You've got room to grow without turning soft. You can afford to gain a few pounds and still look good. That's when bulking works best. But body fat alone isn't enough. You also need the training foundation. If you've been lifting consistently for at least a year, your form is solid, your workouts are structured, and you're pushing real intensity, you're probably ready. Why does that matter? Because a surplus without proper training is a waste. You don't just need more calories. You need a reason for your body to use them. Otherwise, you're just feeding fat cells. And let's not forget the third piece, nutrition habits. If you already struggle to stay on track with your food, what do you think will happen when you start eating more? It's not going to magically clean itself up. Bulking demands even more control, not less. So here's the checklist. You're lean. You've built consistency in the gym. You can track food without falling apart. If that's you, bulk. Do it smart, do it clean, and watch your physique take off. If not, hold off. There's better work to do first. If you've ticked all the boxes, you're lean, consistent, and in control, then it's time to bulk. But not the way most people do it. A smart bulk is slow, calculated, and goal-driven. It's not about stuffing your face and hoping for muscle. It's about giving your body just enough extra fuel to grow without letting fat creep in. Start by finding your maintenance calories, then add a tiny surplus, around 100 extra calories per day. That might sound small, but when your training is locked in and your hormones are primed, it's more than enough to spark real growth without spilling over into fat gain. You should be gaining about a quarter to half a pound per week, slow, steady, and controlled. To stay on top of it, weigh yourself every day, then take the weekly average. That smooths out the natural daily fluctuations and shows you the real trend. If the average isn't moving up after a couple weeks, bump your calories slightly. But if it's jumping too fast, dial it back. You're probably adding fat. Protein stays high. Shoot for 1 gram per pound of body weight. Carbs go up to support training. Fats stay moderate to keep hormones steady without wrecking digestion. And don't turn this into a dirty bulk just because you've got room. Food quality still matters. Stick to mostly whole, nutrient-dense foods. You want muscle, not inflammation and regret. And here's the real key. Training has to match the surplus. You don't get to eat more if you're not training like you mean it. Volume should increase over time, intensity should stay high, and recovery needs to be a priority. Now that your body has the fuel, you've got no excuse not to grow. Here's where smart bulking turns into sloppy bulking. People don't know when to stop. A clean bulk isn't supposed to last forever. You're not supposed to ride the surplus until your jawline disappears and your shirts turn into tents. Even if you're doing it right, there comes a point where fat gain creeps in, performance stalls, and your physique starts heading in the wrong direction. So, how long should you bulk? For most lifters, 8 to 16 weeks is the sweet spot. That gives your body enough time to build noticeable muscle without accumulating too much fat. But there's no magic number. It's about monitoring your body week by week. Watch your scale weight average. Watch your strength in the gym. Watch the mirror. If you're still gaining slowly, lifting heavier, and your physique looks fuller, not puffier, you're good. But if your waist starts growing faster than your arms or your face starts puffing up, that's a sign it's time to reassess. Also, watch your hunger and digestion. If you're force-feeding yourself, always bloated, or losing your appetite, your body's telling you it's time to chill. A bulk should feel like you're thriving, not force-feeding. And if you're gaining weight but not getting stronger, that's fat gain, not muscle. Stop pretending otherwise. Quick break: if you're getting value from this and you actually care about building muscle the right way, hit that like button and subscribe. The goal isn't to bulk as long as possible, it's to bulk productively for as long as your body responds. When the signs shift, when strength plateaus, fat creeps in, or recovery suffers, it's time to end the bulk, clean things up, and maybe transition into a cut. If you want a truly impressive physique, big, lean, and aesthetic, it's not built in one bulk. It's built across multiple phases, each with a purpose. Bulk, maintain, cut, repeat. That's how you stack real muscle while staying sharp. After a clean bulk, the move isn't always a hard cut. Sometimes, a short maintenance phase is smarter. Let your body stabilize, let your hormones rebalance, let your digestion chill. You'll hold on to more muscle that way. Then, when the time is right, go into a lean cut, slow and steady, just like your bulk. Peel off the fat and reveal what you've built. Think of each bulk as a layer. Add a bit of size, cut back the fluff, and reveal something better each time. It's not about getting huge in one push. It's about making every phase count. No wasted weight, no sloppy eating, just calculated growth, followed by controlled refinement. And here's the part most lifters skip. You need patience. If you're switching goals every 3 weeks, bulk, then cut, then mini cut, then bulk again, you're just spinning in circles. Muscle takes time. Fat loss takes time. Stay committed to the phase you're in and don't rush the switch just because you're feeling a little fluffy. If you're constantly uncomfortable with how you look, chances are you bulked too early or too aggressively. That's not a sign to panic. It's a sign to plan better next time. And here's the truth. No one talks about. Bulking is hard. It demands more than eating extra food. You have to track your food with precision, even when you're full. You have to train with intensity, not just effort. You have to be patient when nothing seems to be changing week to week. It's not glamorous. It's quiet, repetitive, relentless. You're choosing to eat more, train harder, and accept that you might not look your best in the mirror for a while, all for a result that takes months to show. That's not just a diet phase. That's a mindset shift. During a bulk, there's no instant feedback. You have to believe in what you're building before anyone else can see it. That's where the real lifters separate themselves. The gym is full of people who want to be jacked, but the ones who actually get there, they're the ones who stay locked in when there's no spotlight, when the food is repetitive, when the gains are slow, when doubt creeps in and they show up anyway. Bulking builds more than muscle. It builds discipline, control, direction. It forces you to stop chasing short-term wins and start investing in long-term progress. And if you're not ready for that, if you're just looking for a reason to eat more without doing the work, then don't bulk. Not yet. Because the real payoff doesn't come from food. It comes from how you handle the process. So here's the bottom line. Bulking is a tool, not a shortcut, not an excuse. If you're lean, consistent, and ready to push your training harder than ever, then it's time to grow. Slowly, strategically, with intention. But if you're already soft, skipping workouts, or hoping more food will magically fix your gains, then bulking is the last thing you should be doing. What you need is structure, not surplus. Discipline, not dirty calories. And if you're stuck in that middle zone, leanish but unsure, training but not fully dialed, then it's time to get honest. Either clean things up first or go all in on building. Don't live in limbo. That's where physiques go to die. The ones who build next level size don't bulk harder. They bulk smarter. They don't guess, they track. They don't rush, they commit. And they don't let the scale dictate their worth. They let their results speak for themselves. So before you jump into a bulk, ask yourself one thing. Are you doing this to actually grow, or are you just trying to feel like you are?